Good morning, friends. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here.
Good morning. I'm Rebecca Reed, this morning's worship coordinator. Reverend Beth and I are joined by musicians Hyung-Ju Jung and Shay Brown in leading worship today. We couldn't do this without our student minister, Kel Alford, supporting the Zoom congregation, as well as the tech team, greeters, ushers, worship team, and coffee hour hosts. Thank you, friends. If you're new to Arlington Street, welcome. We are so glad you're here and would love to stay connected. Please fill out a connection card from the pew rack or from the link in the Zoom chat. Since we can't greet all of you personally this morning, we'd love to follow up with a hello. After today's service, please plan to stay and visit. If you are online, you're invited to remain in the Zoom room for virtual coffee hour. The in-person congregation will gather in the Honeywell Chapel right through the leather door up front. On the last pages of the order of service, you'll find information on upcoming Arlington Street events. There is lots going on, both in person and on Zoom, and we'd love to see you this week. Tomorrow evening at 6, the Ministerial Transition Team is hosting a conversation in the Arlington Street Zoom room. On Thursday evening at 7, Lois Hartsoff, Kelly Ann Weaver, and Reverend John O'Connor are hosting a listening circle in response to our recently announced staffing change. If you're grieving the idea of saying goodbye to Reverend Beth, please join this gathering in Kelly Ann's Zoom room to share your feelings and hold space for others to have their voices heard. Next Sunday, please plan to stay after the service for our annual meeting. And our fabulous gala is coming up very soon. I hope you will join Reverend Beth and me here for a spectacular evening of fun and fundraising on Saturday, May 17th. Friends, if you have come in this morning with a joy or a concern on your heart, you are invited to light a candle at home and share in the chat. Or come light a silent candle at the table to the right of the Gleason podium. If you need spiritual support, our pastoral care team is here for you. Please find their contact info in the order of service and reach out anytime. And now for our greetings, Rich is going to turn the camera on the in-person congregation as we wave and smile at each other, as well as at our friends in the Zoom room. And you all in the Zoom room can wave and smile back. Hello, friends. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home.
Good morning. For the Introit this morning, I will sing through Tending the Spark twice. I invite you to join me in singing the second time through as you feel called to do so. And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark. and we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow, and we will care for each other.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shay. Thank you, Youngju. Lighting our chalice reminds us that the fire within ourselves is the same fire that illuminates the universe. It is our reminder that all is connected, even though the cosmos is vast, and our experience here is but a blip in the cosmic timeline. This flame is our promise that in our smallness and our short time on this earth, we will live intently and joyfully with great love for one another and with a sense of shared responsibility, ever present to the fact that this pale blue dot is the only home we've ever known.
Our opening hymn today is The Fire of Commitment. Shay will lead us, and you can find the words to sing along on page 1028 in your teal hymnal, in your order of service, and in the chat. Let's rise now in body and sing together number 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith's and freedom fear. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built on our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. Let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you.
A candle of sorrow and comfort from Shane McBride for my dad, Mike, who has been in a hospital in Florida with congestive heart failure for the past 2 weeks. From Harriet Hury, a candle of love, compassion, and peaceful transition for Joe Baker, Bonner McAllister, and their daughters, Cora and Sudie. A candle of sorrow from Jay Shaw for my friend Colleen's sister, Eileen, who had a difficult battle with cancer and is now in hospice. May her transition be peaceful and Colleen be loved and supported through her loss. A final mixed candle of love and loss from Reverend Alley at the death of Pope Francis. Many of us have been hurt by teachings in the Catholic Church, and I wish Pope Francis could have washed away all of these for us. I'm grateful for the beautiful cleaning he did do, for the humility, service, love, and mercy he gave and modeled. Pope Francis said, "A bit of mercy makes the world less cold and more just." Wherever you are, Pope Francis, may you be peaceful and at ease. And may you shine your mercy down on our hurting world and inspire us to grow in our love for each other. Pope Francis Presente.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
A candle of total joy from Dawn and Liz. On Thursday, Dawn's mother, Christine, took a leap of faith and flew from Florida to Boston. She is now in Mass General Hospital getting amazing care. Thank you all for your continued thoughts and prayers. They are working. With love and gratitude. A candle of joy from the Arlington Street community as we celebrate with Nancy Chatham wrote the wonderful news that her beloved brother Billy has received a clean bill of health following on his recent leukemia treatment. Much love and congratulations to all. A final candle of exuberant and overflowing joy from the Arlington Street community. Last night, Sharon Junches and Sarah Ross were married right here in our sanctuary. Reverend John officiated, Reverend Beth oversaw logistics. Jeff, our administrator, lent a helping hand. And of course, the Queen was in charge of rubber duckies, beads, and bubbles. It was all hands on deck, showering Sharon and Sarah with all kinds of love. Sharon and Sarah, we wish you years of happiness together. There is a love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary.
All the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, and for the world. Amen.
Please join in saying the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another. Our next hymn is This Joy by the Resistance Revival Chorus. The RRC was founded in the wake of the 2017 Women's March and is a collective of more than 70 women and non-binary singers. Their mission is to breathe joy and song into the resistance and to uplift women's voices, especially those of Black women and women of color. When they're not performing on stages like Carnegie Hall and the Apollo, the Resistance Revival Chorus regularly hits the New York City streets, bringing music to the movements for Black lives, reproductive rights, climate change, and LGBTQ rights. Let's rise now in body, rise in spirit, and sing with gusto, This Joy.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. fire that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This fire that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This fire that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
I felt jubilant, making signs with my sister and my nieces, and heading into the recent hands-off march. So it took me by surprise to find myself standing in the middle of that crowd with tears streaming down my face. Until that moment, I hadn't realized just how dispirited I had become. I know that I'm in good company here when I say that it's been devastating to watch so much of what we cherish be systematically dismantled. I needed that glorious mass mobilization to remind me that bigger forces are at work and that I have a part in the resistance. The joyful spirit of that gathering rekindled my sputtering sense of hope. The protesters brought their creative energy and a seemingly endless array of uplifting and hilarious signs, including, "So much wrong, so little cardboard." But it was the Gulf of Mexico at birth. It takes a minute. So bad, even the introverts are here. And my favorite, keep your tiny hands off my public lands. It's good to be reminded that joy is essential, especially when things are grim. No one knows this better than the visionaries who founded ACT UP in the midst of the escalating AIDS crisis. Those were desperate days. Thousands and thousands of young men were dying terrible deaths, while the people in power remained callously indifferent. Nearly 40 years later, ACT UP is considered one of the most successful activist groups in American history. Their mission was clear and urgent: end the AIDS crisis through direct action. ACT UP members were brilliant at channeling life-affirming joy, energy, and creativity into their theatrical protests. Here's activist Peter Stanley describing a particularly inspired action. On the sunny morning of September 5th, 1991, we arrived in our rented U-Haul at the home of North Carolina Senator Jesse Helms. Then in his third term, the virulently homophobic Helms had established himself as the Senate's most bombastic opponent of federal funding on HIV research, treatment, or prevention. We positioned a 28-foot extension ladder and made our way to the roof while pushing and pulling a heavy duffel bag and an air blower. We unfurled reams of parachute fabric and connected the blower. Team members on the ground used rubber mallets to stake the bottom of the custom-made inflatable into the grass. Then we prayed the police wouldn't arrive before the air filled the tip. Within minutes, the senator's 2-story brick colonial was completely enveloped by an enormous yellow condom. The message, stenciled front and center for the TV cameras, pronounced, "A condom to stop unsafe politics. Helms is deadlier than a virus." It's a curious feature of autocratic regimes that forms of joy are often banned. This is designer and founder of the Aesthetics of Joy blog, Ingrid Fettel-Lee. She continues, "In Mao's China, listening to Beethoven was a crime. The Nazis limited jazz and swing bands and banned works from Jewish composers. What dictators know is that joy has a propulsive force. Anything that gathers and channels energy threatens to upend the rigid control of a population. Music, dance, and art fuel an emotional response that builds momentum. Consider the singing revolution that swept across Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia between 1987 and 1991. This series of mass singing demonstrations is credited with restoring independence to the Baltic states and ending the Cold War. Psychologists tell us that people who engage in communal singing or dance become connected on a physical level. The heart rates of choral singers synchronize. Brain waves line up when musicians play the same riff. These experiences of synchrony create an unconscious physiological experience of community. Studies show that even when strangers move or vocalize together, they become more generous, more altruistic, and more willing to sacrifice their own needs for the good of the group. Celebratory joy creates emotional and physical unity, and a unified populace is hard to dominate. Joy is a sign of vibrant life, of thriving. It's one of the things that makes us truly human. Reclaiming our sources of joy is how we refuse to be dehumanized and reassert our vitality. Holocaust survivor and author Elie Wiesel described a fellow prisoner trading a ration of bread for the materials to piece together a makeshift menorah. Shocked that the man would trade something so essential to his survival, Wiesel asked him, "Hanukkah in Auschwitz?" To which the man replied, "Especially in Auschwitz." The more dehumanizing the circumstances, the more we need these markers of our humanity. In World War I, soldiers on both sides were known to cultivate gardens in the trenches. In 1915, a soldier named Gotthold von Roden described a trench adorned with spent howitzer shell cases, repurposed as pots for snowdrops. Whether it's the transcendent joy of sacred ritual or the simple joy of cultivating a garden, the pursuit of joy amid great struggle sustains our humanity when it is most threatened. I know that it can be hard to muster joy when things feel so bleak. We have a lot to grieve. These are increasingly difficult and dangerous days in our country. Here at home, we're in the midst of this ministerial transition process, which is so hard and so sad. And yet, we here at Arlington Street are well practiced at finding joy in the face of life's suffering. In the Book of Joy, Archbishop Desmond Tutu instructs us that discovering more joy does not save us from the inevitability of hardship and heartbreak. In fact, we may cry more easily, but we will love more easily too. Perhaps we are just more alive. Yet, as we discover more joy, we can face suffering in a way that ennobles rather than embitters. We can have hardship without becoming hard. We have heartbreak without being broken. Pastor, scholar, and civil rights elder Vincent Harding often spoke about what he called live human signposts. By this he meant people who embody new ways of seeing and becoming. Human signposts open up possibilities by offering a light in the darkness and by pointing the way forward to the world we want to inhabit. After last Sunday's service, Peter, one of our visiting marathon runners, approached Reverend John and me with shining eyes and a big smile. Peter said, "Walking into this church this morning felt like a breath of fresh air. As soon as I arrived, I could just feel the positivity and the love here. It almost brought me to tears. There is so much hatred and fear in most of the spaces I'm in these days. But this place is different. I'm so grateful for the reminder that I have a choice. I don't have to be down there in the muck where it feels terrible. I can choose joy and love and the way it feels here. This place is really special. Please don't ever lose that." If you only remember one thing that I say today, please let it be this. What makes Arlington Street remarkable is that we are a community that delights in joy, and we love each other well. You are live human signposts for me, for Peter, and for so many people looking for a world with more love and more joy. I could out-filibuster Cory Booker with Arlington Street stories. But for now, I'll lift up just a few highlights. We are a community that reveres coming together each week to lift up our sorrows and our joys. We declare that it's time for church by ringing the steeple bells and filling the air with bubbles. The Boston Globe has run a front page story on our rubber ducky ministry of joy. We wholeheartedly sing show tunes at memorial services. Our amazing choir can create sacred music from a Bach cantata or a Beatles tune. Some of our most faithful and best dressed attendees on Sundays are dogs. We celebrate Pride as a high holy day. We are people who love to laugh and to know how to give a good hug. And just last night, we had a conga line going down this center aisle, led by two beautiful, blissful brides who had just pledged their love and their lives to one another. Take heart, my friends. These are trying times, but we will not relinquish our joy. We will tend to the spark of hope. Cultivating joy is not a distraction from resistance, but one of its greatest sources of power. Thank you for being a breath of fresh air and the live human signposts pointing the way to the world we want to inhabit. Our spirit of love is what makes everything possible in this beloved spiritual community. You are my great joy. I love you very much. Amen.
Me and Fear, we had a thing in 1993. Told me I was wasting time with all these silly dreams. I dated Doubt, she knocked me down every time I tried. But I found joy in my life. Sorrow swept me off my feet in 2009. I took long walks on the beach next to the oceans and I cried. And grief, she came and overstayed way longer than I'd like. But I found joy in my life. I found joy as she opened up my eyes and gave me wings and halo rings and taught me how to fly. Ooh, I feel like a million lights. I found joy in my life. And it got me like, yeah, oh, I found joy in my life. And it got me like, yeah, oh, I found joy in my life. Pressure pushed me to the edge, she worked me to the bone. And jealousy, she lied to me, said I needed things I don't. Shame, she always had a way to make me hate myself. But I found joy in my life. I found joy on the loneliest of nights. I call on her to soothe my soul and help me stay upright. Ooh, I feel like a million lights. I found joy in my life. And it got me like, yeah, oh, I found joy in my life. And it got me like, yeah, oh, I found joy in my life. And there were days I did not know if she would pack her bags and go. But she's right here forever though, and I know, I found joy and I'm grateful She gives me strength to carry on when I have lost my way. Now I'm basking in her light. I found joy, I found joy. Oh, I found joy in my life. Got me like, yeah, I found joy in my life.
Thank you, Shay and Hyungju. Friends, Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining. It's up to us. And our generosity continues to be astounding. Thank you for your commitment to our staff, our building, and our beloved spiritual community. Each Sunday, we share our collection plate with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. This month, we are supporting the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute as they prepare for the 29th annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace. Our gifts fund their critical work supporting families and communities impacted by murder, trauma, grief, and loss. Together, we can cultivate cycles of peace. Here at Arlington Street, we've created a sanctuary where everyone is seen, valued, and embraced. Reverend Beth is one of those pillars of our community who truly embodies what it means to show up with an open heart, making even the most hesitant newcomer feel like they finally found home. I first started coming to our church in 2018, and within my first few weeks here, she invited me to lunch to genuinely know my story and begin to witness my journey. She made me feel seen during a time when I felt so lost and alone, starting the next chapter of my life in Boston. Fast forward to 2 weekends ago, I entered the Boylston Street entrance and saw Beth coming up the steps. She gave me the biggest hug and told me without words that she was so happy to see me. A few minutes later, I was setting up tables for our potluck by myself since my usual potluck helpers were out of town. But Beth was there, offering helping hands without being asked, embodying the beautiful care that defines who we are when we're together. These small acts of kindness aren't small at all. They're the building blocks of a beloved community where no one walks alone. Your generous gifts today help maintain this space where we can continue to hold one another with the same tenderness that Beth has shown me. Our relationships here transform not just our lives, but our world that so desperately needs the same compassionate touch. Please take a moment now to join me in giving to our beloved Arlington Street. You can give online at ascboston.org or find instructions in the order of service for giving via QR code, Venmo, or text message. You can also mail a check to the church or use the envelopes in the pews, which will be collected momentarily by the ushers. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, Hyungju, for that beautiful offertory and for all of your music this morning. Our closing hymn today is number 118, This Little Light of Mine. The words to sing along can be found in the order of service, in the chat, and on page 118 of the gray hymnal. Let's rise now in body, rise in spirit, and sing together, This Little Light of Mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All through the night, I'm gonna let it shine. All through the night, I'm gonna let it shine. All through the night, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Before our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room to reach out your hands and touch the sides of your square. And those of you in the sanctuary to raise your hands, palms out. Let's send loving kindness to the person on either side of you and to the people on either side of them. Send out love into this beloved spiritual community and feel it coming back to you. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And now for our benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart and namaste. I bow to the divine in you. This morning's benediction comes from the Book of Joy by His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu. No dark fate determines the future. We do. Each day and each moment, we are able to create and recreate our lives and the quality of human life on our planet. The more we turn toward the suffering, our own and others, the more we turn toward the joy. Lasting joy cannot be found in pursuit of any goal or achievement. It resides only in the human mind and heart. True joy is a way of being. Amen. Let's keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I love you. Amen.
will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine.
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.